Hey friends, welcome back to another weekly wellness update. There is so much information packed into this video. I almost felt like I should cut it up into multiple videos, but it's just so much. I have been so very thankful that I am recording my conversations with Jonathan. It's been like 6 weeks now, I can't believe it. But I'm so glad that I have the recordings because we have our talk and I have in my mind, like, this is what he said and all of that. And then I go back to edit, you know, a couple days later and watch through again. And I like always pick up something else, some new nugget of information or wisdom. And it's just so great to like be able to sit back and relax and like watch it through again and get all the information. So anyways, in this video, we talk about my hormone blood tests. I got some blood test results back. So we're going to go over hormone tests. We talk a lot about why not just carnivore? There were a lot of comments on our last call about just, you know, if you want to fix issues in your body, obviously you should just go carnivore because carnivore fixes all of those things. And so Jonathan kind of explains his reasoning for the approach that he's taking. And then also he gives a whole bunch of great tips for vacation. So I'm going to be going on a trip here pretty soon. And so he's going to be helping me think through strategies for feeling my best on the trip. Also, you know, not obsessing with tracking food, but then also not going off the rails just because it's vacation. So he's going to help me out with that. And he gave some incredible tips. It was like 5 different things to do on vacation. And like, I'm definitely going to implement those. I think it's going to be a beautiful thing. So anyways, I don't want to make this super long because like I said, the video is long and jam-packed. So let's just head over to my conversation with Jonathan.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Just pulling up your blood labs right now. I was looking at them earlier.
Yeah. There's still the one I'm waiting for, but got a lot to work with, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want to do a comparison round here so we can see all of this. All right. Yeah. So ferritin's coming back down, but that's good. We don't want it as high as it is right now.
Exactly. So. Yeah. It's adjusting after the infusion.
Wow. T3's been cut in half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy for you. This is awesome. Good. This is good.
Yes. Yeah. I'm feeling so much better. Oh my gosh.
Good. Good.
Crazy.
Let's go over your CBC though. Your white blood cell count is high. Were you sick?
It was low, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Low. Right. Sorry. Were you sick?
No.
Okay.
No. So, I've had my white blood cell count has kind of gone in and out of low and normal for a year or so.
Gotcha. Okay.
And my impression of it was that it was due to iron versus copper. Mm-hmm. With the iron, having so much iron supplements and infusions, lowered copper, which shows as a low white blood cell count. At least that's what I've heard. Yep. And so it's kind of, yeah,
gotcha.
Gone in and out.
Following. Good thing is so everything's improving though. Your creatinine's gone up, your blood creatine ratio has gone up, your ALT's gone down, your alkaline phosphate has gone well, actually it went a little bit lower. That's the only one.
So my alkaline phosphatase has been low for my whole life. And I went round and round with my doctor about trying to figure out why, and we never could figure it out.
Could be an immune thing. Okay. There's a lot of reasons that could be happening.
Right. Yeah. So that's just something that I've never been able to figure out. Yeah. And nothing I've done has affected it that I've noticed.
Gotcha. That being said, so everything seems like it's improving and you're feeling better, which is awesome. Yes. I love that. How have the macro adjustments impacted you since last time we talked?
It's been so much better. It's been so much better. Okay, Jonathan.
Yes.
I added, I don't know, maybe like 200 carbs to my week this past week.
Yes.
And I felt better and my hunger was less.
Yes.
That goes against everything that keto and carnivore has taught me. Can you please explain this?
Are you okay? I'm just curious. Is it that mind blowing for you?
No, for me, it's not. But I know for some of the viewers, it is. We got a lot of comments on our last video. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just saw you went back down to 160. I was like, I wanted to respond to your weight change. You went back down. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, going up and down. Anyways, I know a lot of viewers, especially ones that are, you know, have seen really great results with carnivore.
Yeah.
There was a lot of confusion on the last video about why wouldn't you just have me go carnivore to fix any hormonal problems and issues. So for me, I kind of know where you're coming from, and I'm on board completely. But just for the viewers that might be watching, just a real quick, like, why don't you just have me go carnivore?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I'll try to keep this as much of an elevator speech as possible. I literally just made a video about this today. Like,
oh, nice. I can link to it.
Like when carnivore goes wrong for women. Like literally the whole video is about that. But just kind of quick elevator speech. So carnivore is a great tool. And I think that's really important to preface up front. Like, I think people get the idea that when you want to reintroduce carbs, you're calling the carnivore diet bad. And that's not. More of like understanding the individual, right? Carnivore can be great when you come from a standard American diet or a diet that was full of things that were bothering your gut or bothering your energy levels or, creating insulin resistance. We see the carnivore diet can really heal all of that. Yeah. But for some people, and specifically a lot of women, not all women, that's really important. There are women that are strict carnivore that feel fine, right? Yep. So not all women. But due to y'all's cycles, due to the way that y'all's thyroid regulates, the absence of carbohydrates, not when I say carbs, I don't mean like processed, sugary. I'm talking about Hershey bars. I'm just talking about like the macronutrient in particular. Right. The absence of that long term can create a stressful environment internally due to the downregulation of thyroid hormone, due to the lack of suppression of cortisol, especially as you go into your luteal phase, or, just due to stressors throughout your life in general, that can really dysregulate sex hormones. It can dysregulate energy. I know plenty of women that, they go carnivore and they feel great. And then about a year or two later, they lose their cycle, their energy plummets. They're told to try half fat. They try. It doesn't satiate them. It doesn't make them feel good. But they're told that carbs are bad. And so they're sitting here living a less than optimal life, just eating meat and trying to figure it out. The reality is that for some women, just cycling in some carbohydrates or even having more of a low carb diet with a healthy mix of fasting in there can alleviate all those issues. Yeah. You experienced it this week, right? Like your body was like, hey, like I'm hungry. I'm not satiated. And a lot of people would go, okay, well then just fast and eat meat. Your appetite will be suppressed. You'll get plenty of fats and proteins and you'll be nourished. And it's like, but that's not what your body's asking for. It doesn't want to have its appetite suppressed. It wants its appetite to be satisfied, right? It's not asking for suppression. It's asking for satisfaction. Right. And if you're giving it fat and proteins and that's not satisfying it, then it needs something else. And your body could be asking that for a number of reasons. It could be just because that's what your body wants. But generally speaking, our bodies are really complex. And our brain's connection to our gut and our stomach is mind-boggling. So I'm a functional nutritional therapy practitioner, which means that there's a functional side to my practice. So we have this thing called, I haven't done it in forever. I wish I had a brick and mortar I could do this. We have something called the functional clinical assessment, which is a series of palpations on nerve endings that show us inflammation and nutritional deficiencies in different organs, right? Okay. And part of that testing is something called the LNT, which is the lingual neurotransmission test. And it's where we take different supplements and we put them under your tongue, exposing them to the open capillaries under your tongue. And there's generally, if it's the right nutrients that organ needs for that nutrition deficiency, we see an immediate inflammatory reduction response. So, and I've seen this in real life. I've palpated someone's ACIS joint, which is linked to adrenal dysfunction, because when your adrenals get inflamed, the nerves pull on that joint and it makes it super tender. And I've, on a scale of 1 to 10 of tenderness, they've been at 10. I give them a particular nutrients based off their diet profile and stuff I think they need. And within 30 seconds, that pain gets cut in half. Wow. And it's just their brain responding to what's about to go into their stomach. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. And so realizing that, like, if you're giving your body fat and protein and it's not responding, it's one of two things. If your body's not digesting that food, which if you're a carnivore for a long time and your body's still not digesting food, that's a whole another can of worms to open. Or the second thing is that it doesn't want fat and protein. It might want some carbohydrates. There might be some, and it might not be because that's what your gut wants. It might be because your body's really stressed with cortisol, or there's thyroid dysfunction, and your body knows that particular food helps it create that particular thing that it needs. And so it's not going to rest until you give it what it wants. And so you get what
you're saying is, if I'm craving donuts, I should go eat them?
No. I'm saying if you're craving donuts, you should ask yourself why.
Yeah.
right? Why am I craving donuts? Is this a stress response? If it's a stress response, maybe I need to have a bowl of berries with my food, right? Maybe that's going to cave the cortisol reaction that I'm having. Like a lot of people think that when they eat candy, it's just an addiction. And there is that psychological component we have to think about, but there's intuition there too. Like your body knows what that bar does to you physiologically. That's why it wants it so bad. And so being able to, it's kind of like when you eat chocolate and people will tell you, oh, well, you're craving magnesium. And usually they're right. A lot of people go to magnesium because it helps relax their muscles. And so chocolate, and like the luteal phase, for example, is really, it's very much something that people crave. Yes. And generally it's because the sugars in it suppress your cortisol and the magnesium in it helps relax your muscles. And so like your body craves that, but you just never ask yourself why. So I would say, no, don't go eat the donut, but you should definitely ask yourself why and be willing to try things that are outside of the dogmas that you follow.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. That's really good advice.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm so glad you're feeling better. It makes me so happy. And also, and going back to your habit tracker, the reason I was looking at your weight is not because I think you need to lose more weight right now, but it's more of just seeing like, generally what we see is if someone, I don't want to say if someone doesn't need carbohydrates, their weight goes up, because for every gram of carb, you can retain 3 grams of water. Right. So eat more carbs, your weight can go up anyways, just from fluid retention. But it's really nice to see when your weight comes down or it goes to the lower end of your fluctuation when you increase carbohydrates. Because that tells us that your body's relaxing and flushing more inflammation.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So your body has had and all round, your body has had a great response to the past couple.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm feeling so much better. I mean, I still have moments of hunger. I still have to kind of ration my food throughout the day, because if I eat as much as I feel like I want, I'll get to the end of the day and not have anything left. But it's a lot more doable. Like it's not as much in my head as it was last week. So
yeah,
we're on the right path.
Yeah, and something too, I just want to I saw a comment about not tracking your food at all and just eating to satiation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's a bad idea, because I can understand the approach. I think for some people though, the fear of weight gain and the fear of going backwards inhibits them from taking that, from fully embracing that idea. And so giving them a much more controlled set of boundaries so that they feel like they're in more control while they increase food anyways can be a better approach. So I think it just really comes down to like what you need psychologically and, how the self-awareness that you have about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. And it's not like I'm just still dropping weight really fast or anything like that. So if I were, then obviously eating more would be the right choice, but I'm not. And then also the medication that I'm on for suppressing thyroid causes weight gain. So I don't want to just let myself go. And because I do think I would start gaining weight pretty quick if I did. Yeah. No, so I'm really happy with what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So real quick. So you took your last blood draw on the 8th day, or wait, no, it was what was it?
Yeah, it was the 8th day of my cycle, on the 19th.
Yeah, it was the 8th day of your cycle. Correct. So let's look, I want to look at that real quick. Because I just want to talk about your thyroid and your diet, and then we're going to get into some of the new stuff that we're going to be looking at.
Okay.
So let's share my screen again one more time. Your FSH. So we're looking at your follicular phase. You're at the end of your follicular phase, mid-cycle, a peak, which is going to be about day 13. It's like the end of your ovulation, day 13, day 14, day 15-ish. So you're kind of transitioning into ovulation phase right now. Some of the days kind of bleed together, but generally you're at the end of your follicular phase. So we're kind of looking at this range right here.
Yes.
And right. So FSH, which is your follicular stimulating hormone, is great. Your LH, which is your luteinizing hormone, which is the hormone that your pituitary gland produces to stimulate sex hormone production and other hormone production. That is within range, which is good. It's on a little bit of the lower end, but again, we're not peaking for ovulation, so that could ramp up, and we just don't know because it ramped up 3 days later, right? So it's, as long as it's within range, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Your progesterone is good. It's less than 1, which is good. We don't want progesterone necessarily really high during the follicular phase. We want estrogen and testosterone to be creeping up, which is really good. So not bad at all there. And then your estrogen surprisingly is high for your follicular phase. Yeah, you see it's green, but it's going to say it's in green because it's not like 300. I definitely don't think you have estrogen dominance, but definitely something for us to keep an eye on. I'm kind of curious to see because thyroid and estrogen are interrelated and in some ways. So I'm kind of interested to see as your thyroid numbers start to regulate even more, if this starts to hit within its ranges like it's supposed to. And again, like I said, mid-cycle, the low is 64, and then follicular, the high is 144. So, and you're at the end of your follicular phase, and you're going into ovulation. And so there's some nuance there to go, well, you're not technically for the follicular phase, you're high, but going into ovulation, you're like mid-range.
Okay.
Right? So there's some bleeding there that we have to think about.
Sure.
But all in all, your sex hormones actually look really, really good right now.
Oh, good.
Which is good. I'm curious to see what your testosterone is. Your cortisol is great. It's mid.
Is testosterone on there? Because I did get that result. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. So, yeah, it's about mid-range. It's about mid-range. You have 3.9 bioavailable, and then you have 1.8 free. It could be higher. Testosterone could be higher, but it's within range, which is good. So you definitely have the ability to build muscle, and your total testosterone, which is cool, is on the high end.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. So all in all, like, that's all great. What I'm going to be curious about, even though this is less than 1, it's technically within range, your luteal phase, it should go up, and you're getting close to your luteal phase, but again, or your ovulation phase, or your luteal phase. But again, it's the end of your follicular phase, so
okay,
you kind of just go based off the ranges that you're at. There's a lot of guessing that you could do here, but I don't want to do that. It's not good practice. I'm interested to see how all of this, in terms of these numbers being right, plays a role in your iron level.
Okay. Yeah. So I had, my infusion, and I've had my ferritin checked a couple of times now, and I've never seen it as high as it is now. Even after my previous infusion, it just drops super fast after my first infusion. And so I'm hopeful that I am making progress, like with the gut stuff that I've done. Maybe I'm holding on to more. Time will tell, obviously.
Before we got your thyroid checked and we figured that out, when was the last time you got your thyroid checked?
Oh, it's been years.
I'm starting to wonder if the thyroid was the root cause of the iron issues.
I was wondering about that because, your metabolism is going too fast, and maybe I was just burning through iron too fast. I mean, that's not burning.
Your gut was a blacksmith, just like melting it.
Exactly. No, but because I know like athletes have a hard time keeping their iron because the physical activity causes you to use it faster. So maybe because I started exercising more and my thyroid was being wonky. So I do wonder if that could be part of it. But I'm so far encouraged that the infusions got my iron as high as it did, and it's not dropping as fast as it has previously. So who knows why, but it could be a combination of different things.
I think
I'm just happy.
Yeah, I'm glad. And you've done a lot of work, and you should be happy. You should be super proud of yourself. I think the gut work that you've done and all the work that you've done has set a really good foundation. And I'm strongly, based off of your lab results, I'm strongly leaning towards the thyroid was a problem. And I think it just kind of it just got to a certain point when we got it checked. You're having all those symptoms and things, but I wonder how long it's been high.
Exactly.
And so and it makes sense to me that the iron deficiency, it doesn't make sense to me that iron deficiency would cause hyperthyroidism, but it does make sense to me that the hyperthyroidism would cause iron deficiency. Yeah. Exactly as you said, due to just that upregulation, you're not moving like an athlete, but your body's acting like an athlete.
Right. And I didn't ever think that hyperthyroidism would be something that I had because I was overweight. I mean, I wasn't losing weight. Like when you think hyperthyroidism, you think, oh, you're really skinny. And so my mind would not have gone there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, to be fair too, like some of the nutritional interventions you've been doing with me, and then before we actually started working together with some added carbs and all that, we have no idea how that impacted cortisol levels. We don't know how high your cortisol was 6 months ago, right? Sure. We don't know what your progesterone and estrogen were 6 months ago. So there's also, like you said, it's fun to kind of like guess and assume, but we really don't know. We don't have all the answers. It would be negligent to say that we do. But
maybe one day we'll have a continuous estrogen monitor, a continuous
monitor,
like just have like 27 on there.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Scan. Yeah. All right, we're good. I'm good. We're all good.
Yeah. But it would be really interesting to know all the ups and downs with all the different things I've done. But as long as you're making progress, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, you're looking great. I'm super happy with how you're progressing. I don't really want to change anything right now. We'll just keep going the way we're going, and then we'll adjust as we need to.
Oh, I was going to ask you about dairy.
Yes, dairy.
I'm doing 1 serving of dairy per day for the most part.
Yes.
And I was wondering,
you want more?
3 weeks now. Okay, so I love dairy, first of all, so that's part of it. Second, I'm a recipe creator, and it's cramping my style not being able to like work on recipes with.
You know what? Okay. Everything's going in the right direction. We're not changing. Okay. So I'll tell you what, I'll let you have 4 servings a day.
4?
4.
Okay.
What, are you not happy with that? I can make it 2.
I'm just surprised.
I'll give you 4. Well, here's why. 1, 4 is still like, if you do like 4 tablespoons of heavy cream in your coffee or something, or you save it for like a recipe, it's fine, right? It's not that much. The average American eats like 600 to 1,000 calories worth of dairy every single day. It's an obnoxious amount.
Easy to do.
Very easy to do. So it still controls, but also we're not changing anything else right now. So if there's a negative response, we know exactly what it was. So I'm comfortable with giving you a little bit more wiggle room, because if something goes wrong, I know exactly what. If we were changing a lot of stuff right now, I wouldn't increase the dairy.
That makes sense.
But the fact that we're not changing anything, we can really watch it. And if you have negative reactions, then we're like, eh. But if you don't, great, cool, awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Deal?
Yep. Sounds good. I mean, I can do that.
Awesome. All right. Well, I thought I'd make your good day even better. So
there you go.
You're welcome.
There was another thing I wanted to chat about, and we can kind of chat about it the next couple of weeks. But we are going on a trip to Utah for the Keto Chow meetup, and we're going to be gone for about 2 weeks. We're going to do a family road trip down to Utah, see all the sites on the way back. And part of me is like, oh, I'm frustrated that we're doing this when I'm working with you and trying to, keep things controlled and stuff like that. But then at the same time, I'm like, I'm going to be doing trips and events, and I want to work on handling them in a moderate, reasonable way.
Yeah.
So we can just start thinking about like strategies for not being obsessive about food and stuff while I'm on the trip, but then also not going off the rails. So yeah, any thoughts about that? And like I said, we have a couple of weeks, so we can talk about it.
Yeah, so we can definitely, I'm sorry, finish your thought?
No, go ahead.
I say, so we can flesh this out in more detail later, but lucky for you, I have a knack for clients hiring me when they're about to go on vacation. Yeah. How many clients hire me in 2 weeks? They're like, oh, by the way, I'm going on a trip to Europe for 3 weeks. I need your help. And I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. I have a foolproof system for vacation.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay.
I've been on 3 cruises and like 4 vacations since I developed this, and I have never gained weight on a vacation.
Okay.
It's not like gaining weight, but it's like, yeah, and I didn't track either. No tracking.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This is a foolproof system.
Just go carnivore.
Huh?
Just go carnivore.
No, absolutely not. Meat's part of it, but yeah. Okay. So, rule number 1 about vacation.
Okay.
Don't drink your calories. Super simple, right? Yep. Keep your nutrition to solid stuff. Don't drink the calories. Yep. I know it's probably going to be an easy one for you, but it's always one of the rules I go over. Yep. Second rule, you should do some kind of movement every day. You should set the tone. You should set the tone every day with I've accomplished something. Because our body craves endorphins. And if we don't get it from accomplishment, we'll get it from comfort. A lot of people that eat really bad start in the morning. Right. But if you start the day with, I just accomplished something good, I feel good, it's much easier to make better choices throughout the day. Okay. So I would say start with some kind of workout. So, like, you know, when I go on vacation, people ask me all the time when I'm on a cruise, like, well, I'm going to go on this cruise, I'm probably going to go run like 10 miles a couple days. And then we're like, why in the world would you do that on vacation? I'm like, because I walk around here cocky. Okay. I just think I am the bee's knees. Like,
yeah. It makes vacation better.
It makes vacation
people
better.
Think it would make it worse, but ultimately it makes it better.
Yeah. I don't actually walk around cocky. I just like, I walk around like, I'm like, I accomplished something today. Yeah. Like it's a part of who I am. And it makes it to where I'm not relying on the things I see with my eyes to make me feel good about myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So movement every day, some form to start the day.
Okay.
Second thing is I would say try to keep your carbs to your 2 meals a day. So 2 of your meals should be carbs. The other one shouldn't have any.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good general rule. It keeps you from going over, but it also keeps you from neglecting it.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, if in the morning you have some fruit or whatever, and then then lunch is like just some chicken wings or whatever, and then dinner is like steak with a sweet potato or however you want to do it. So 2 meals carbs, one meal no carbs.
Okay.
Fourth rule. Meat first. The plate should always get meat on it first. Right? It's going to help minimize excess carbs. It's going to help minimize your desire for sweet treats and things like that. Fats and proteins always come first, just to give you that foundational nourishment you need. And that will help minimize other things.
Yeah.
Okay? Fifth rule, no snacking. Now, we'll talk about nuances like when you're in the car, right? Like foods like that. We can talk about that in other videos. But generally, no snacking.
Yep.
Literally, it's a 5-prong vacation rule. And every client I've ever had, if they follow that to a T, they don't lose. Some lose weight if they're trying to lose weight. Most just maintain and feel good, and they don't feel bad about anything. Yeah,
I love that. That's great. I wanted to write them all down, but then I'm like, I'm just going to listen to this video again and write them all down later.
Yeah,
because that's great.
Yeah. So that's like the 5 rules I give any client. But obviously, you know, like if my client, like I had one, she went to Jamaica for a week. Wow. And so we had to like figure out like what kind of food options can she have? What makes sense? What can she have that she normally doesn't have? And then what should she just stay away from entirely? Right. So like we can definitely flesh out those conversations.
Yeah. Well, thankfully we're going to visit the bears in, Utah. So I know that they eat good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, when I was in Utah in November, they took me to Brazilian. It was great.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. They're good people.
It's going to be so fun. We can't wait.
I'm excited for y'all. But yeah, so we'll definitely flesh that out over the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about the actual driving and all that jazz when it gets here.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I just wanted to, put that out there because we leave on the 12th of May. So that's a little less than 3 weeks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's soon. Oh yeah. And then you have KetoCon right after that, huh?
I'm not going to KetoCon this year.
Hack your health. I've been corrected.
Yeah. Come on. Hack your health by KetoCon.
That's right.
No, I'm not going this year because we're doing this big trip. I can't turn around and
I get it.
After that, so. Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to do that either. Yeah, I have the cruise.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. Are you taking the family?
No, because so I feel bad. So it's like a 9-day cruise and it's going to the Virgin Islands. And Ashley, my wife, loves the Virgin Islands. And I was a dummy. I had to take blame because I get blamed when we got pregnant. And so it happens, she'll be 7 months pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get on the boat. I felt horrible.
Yeah. It's all your fault.
Yeah. But it's okay. You know what? I'm trying not to feel bad while I'm on the boat. I'm going to try and have a good time anyways, but it's there.
Just do something else nice for her.
She's going to text. Oh, I did. So literally when I found out she couldn't go, like literally I went around and I said, hey babe. And I bought her like a 4-day cruise. We went on a cruise in January. I was like, I'm just going to take her on a cruise. We're just going to go on a cruise in January because I got to give her something.
Good. I'm glad you did that.
So yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do the 10K on Saturday.
Let's go! I love it. What brought you just feeling
I was feeling better and I was like, I'll come in last. I don't care. I'll walk as much as I need to. I have no, pride about it. Like I'm not trying to win anything. I'm just and I'm doing it with my friends. So I just decided I'm just gonna do it.
Okay, so I'll give you a quick hint on this because you didn't really train for it. So your body is going to rip through you.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be great. You're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be fun. Start it fasted. You could have like a fatty coffee beforehand or something like that.
What about pre-workout?
Oh yeah, you could take True Endurance beforehand for sure. For sure. Oh yeah, for sure. If you really, it really depends. Go on how you feel. But if you really want to maximize your energy to get through it, I would carry, you can buy them on Amazon or something, like a honey stick, like a little like pure honey stick. It's like, it's only like 15 grams of carbs, but it's enough for a 10K. And around mile 2 or 3, or I say around mile 2, just eat it. And by mile 4, it'll be digested and it should give you that little oomph to like finish strong.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. We produce our own honey here on the farm. So I have local honey that I'll have to figure out a way to transport it.
Well, just like keep a spoon in your back pocket. It's like get it on your pocket. It's like, oh crap.
Little jar.
Yeah. I love that.
Figure it out.
Yeah, but basically go based off how you feel. Especially if you're going to be walking most of it, you probably won't need it. But if you get there and you're like, you know, I want to try and run this. Let's just see what happens. I would definitely encourage around mile 2 to do that, just because your body hasn't really had time to adapt to the glycogen demands and it hasn't gotten efficient at being efficient with that. So that should help.
Okay. Yep. I can do that.
Okay. Cool. So, I'm excited about this. This is
me too.
Yay.
Yeah. I mean, 2-3 weeks ago, I was feeling so bad that I was like, I don't even see how this is possible, but I really am feeling a lot better. And then, you know, I'll just take it easy. It's fine.
Yeah. Just have a good time. Have fun. You've earned it. You know, you're feeling great. Use it. Yeah. Have a good time.
That's what I'm going to do.
Good. Sweet. That makes me happy. Okay. Now we're both happy off the call. Great.
I get to have dairy and run a 10K.
Let's go. Yes.